percent, part, and whole. So we're going to look at how we can use two of these values to find the third or the missing value. And the first thing we're going to look at is finding the percent. So if you open up to your first page of your foldable, it should say finding the percent when you are given the part and the whole. So this is what we're going to focus on first. We want to find the percent when we're given the part and the whole. This is a lot like turning a fraction into a decimal, which we're familiar with. So we'll start with the basic process. Step one is that part and whole. To get a percent, you want to divide the part by the whole. So this is a lot like dividing the numerator by the denominator. Now when you do that, you're going to get a decimal answer, and we need to get a percent. So step two is that we're going to convert the decimal to a percent by moving the decimal point, how many places? 2 places to the right. So once we divide the part by the whole, we'll get the decimal. Then we convert the decimal to a percent by moving the decimal point 2 places to the right. And while you do that, quick example. You always want to set up as kind of like a framework for this. Percent over 100, fix that, equals, and then we'll put part and whole. So you have this on the front page of your notes, and this is always how you want to set up and kind of get your percent, part, whole word problem or solution organized. So if we want to solve for the percent, a quick example of this would be if I move this over, I'm going to have percent, well, we'll leave it blank, something over 100. What percent is 12 out of 15? So if I have 15 M&Ms and I eat 12 of them, how many have I eaten? Well, we're going to follow our steps. First one says divide the part by the whole. So the part is 12, and I can do it off to the side. You could follow along if you wanted, but I'm just dividing the part by the whole. So 12 divided by 15. I want to make it 12.0 because I know 15 does not go into 12. So 15 doesn't go into 1, doesn't go into 12, but it goes into 120. And if I do this right, I believe it goes evenly 8 times into 120. So 15 times 8 should get me 120, and it will zero out. So I've turned it into a decimal. The decimal is 0.8. But remember, we want this as a percent. So we're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the right, 1, 2. And that turns this into 80%. So that is how we turn, get a part and a whole, and we turn that into a percent. When you're given the part and the whole, this is how we convert that to a percent. So quick little word problem. And set it up like this. Stephen uses 21 of the 25 quarters his mom gave him at the arcade. What percentage of the quarters did he use? So set up this word problem. Remember, we always start with this. Percent over 100 equals part and then whole. So what do we have? What information do we have? We know he used 21 out of 25 quarters, and it says what percentage. So we know we're going to solve for the percent. So I'm going to reset this up over here, and I'm going to fill in my part and my whole. Well, Stephen used 21 out of 25. So out of 25 means that's the whole value. 21 is what he used. And now we can figure out, we can divide 21 by 25 and turn it into a percent, and we should get our answer. So if I do that, 21 divided by 25 over here. Again, I'm going to make this 21.0 because it's not going to go in full time. So doesn't go into 2. Doesn't go into 21, but 25 goes into 210 8 times. 25 times 8 is 200, and when we subtract, I should get 10 here. And remember, after we subtract to bring down, doesn't look like we have anything to bring down, but we actually have kind of dotted in 0 there that we can bring down. So we have 100. 25 goes into 100 evenly 4 times. And 25 times 4 is 100, and that's going to zero out. So right now, it looks like we have an answer of 84 hundredths. But we remember step 2, we need to turn it into a percent, which means the decimal moves 2 places over, and this equals 84%. So Stephen used 21 out of those 25 quarters. That was 84% of those quarters. So using the part and the whole to solve for the percent.